Yo, what is up, everybody? It's Peace-Eye. Welcome to another video. Guess who just topped another tournament? 4th place. I got robbed of my 2nd place. I only lost to the undefeated, but apparently Ricardo and Tyler also lost to Bill Wee. Shout out to Bill Wee. But anyway, X-1, 5 rounds with 60 card branded Despia. So I had never played anything like this. So this was like a learning experience for me. You guys can see in the duels, but like many other powerful decks I've played in the past, this deck carries. This deck is so powerful, you don't even need to know what you're doing in order to take wins off this deck. Now that I've played a tournament with this deck, I'm going to be coming up with new changes to this list. So this is just a preliminary list for exactly what I played in those, I think I posted 4 duels at locals yesterday. So starting off, we run 3 Fallen of Albaz. You need this as part of your engine. Like, you'll always need one in deck. Like, it's good to have one in graveyard too, so like mandatory 3. This is something newer. People are not really playing 3 Albion the Shrouded Dragon, but I was copying essentially Pack and some other lists I've seen. It's just a really good consistency card, and in graveyard it counts as Fallen of Albaz, which is broken. Next, 2 Cartesia. This would be 3, but I only own 2. Next, 1 Quem. This would be 2, but I only own 1. Next, to increase consistency, I did play a Spriggan's Kit, which is another really good search target. And what I used in tournament was its ability to add. So Aluber can add from deck only, but what Spriggan's Kit can do is add from Banish Zone or even Graveyard or deck as well, I think. Let me just make sure. That is banished or in your deck or graveyard. Unbelievable. So I was adding back the counter trap with this, and I was able to use it and then use its banish effect again. Like, this card is crazy. So highly recommend this card. And then the one of McCurrier. Next up is the Despia package. So that's all the Albaz stuff. Next up, to supplement that engine, we do play the 3 Despian Tragedy. So this is just really good for banishing to set your branded spells and traps, and then either banishing it or sending it to graveyard in order to search any Despia card. One of your main search targets is your Aluber. This is definitely a 3 of, guys. You should play 3 of this. I only own 2. All right, next up, the 1 Ad Libitum. So this is really good for bringing back your Mirror Jade or any of your Despia monsters. Really strong. Next up is the a brand new engine. So Despia engine's done. This next engine is the Fright for engine. So 3 Edge Imp Chain. Really nice. That's it for the Fright for engine. Next up is the Bestial engine. Let me clear off some space real quick for you guys. Bestial engine, 1 Lubellion and 1 Sorinir. So that's it for the monsters for the Bestial engine. I'm definitely going to increase this, but these are the only mandatory ones. This sends any branded spell or trap or a Bestial. And then this basically searches Sorinir, or you contribute the level 8 dragon to summon itself out and get your one of your branded cards, which is really awesome. This gets you branded lost. But I definitely think I'm going to increase this package, including some other spells and traps for it to set or activate from deck. Next up, the final monster of the deck, Dark Magician. So I do not own the Gimmick Puppet Nightmare, so I was unable to Gimmick Puppet lock my opponents. But I kid you not, this OG Dark Magician is one of the best cards in the deck. It won me single-handedly at least 2 or 3 of my games. Being able to summon Dragoon is absolutely insane, and then its effect to destroy something and burn in time is unbelievable. Like, this card is so crazy. Branded Fusion just gives you a free Dragoon, and then you can do other shenanigans with the deck. Like, it's so good. Like, it's amazing. Like, I cannot emphasize this enough. It is so worth it to play this level 7 brick. And if you draw it, that's even better. Next up, spells. So 3 Branded Fusion, obviously. You gotta play it. 3 Branded Opening. This summons your Aluber, basically. Or it can add to hand, which is really cool. Next up, 3 Branded Lost. This was all right. This wasn't that bad. It really makes it so that you only lose to Ash Blossom. So yeah, but there's tons of hand traps in this format, but this just, oopsie. This just makes your deck so strong and consistent. Next, 2 Branded in red, and then the 1 of Branded in white. We also played another 1 of branded spell, the Branded in High Spirits. Finally, to round out the branded spells and traps, we do play the 1 Retribution that I mentioned before. This card's crazy. You banish to add, and then your Spriggan's Kit brings it back to your hand, which is broken. Next up, the other spells. So we do have 2 Polymerization for the Edge Imp engine. After that, we do have 3 Fusion Deployment. There's a card in the extra deck that you can actually use to banish one of these to pop a card. I'll talk about it when we get there. Next up, for your Fright for engine, you do play the 3 Fright for Patchwork. So that will search your Polymerization and your Edge Imp chain, and it's just a continuous loop of advantage. Really good. You can actually use this to get your Poly, which is an extender, and helps you push forward. 1 Thrust, because I only own 1, but yeah, this basically tutors for anything in the deck. I think I added Branded Fusion off of this in tournament, but check out the deck, the duels to see that. 3 Triple Tactics Talent. This card's just broken, so you gotta play it. Obviously, this is a board breaker type deck because you can't really afford to play hand traps. 3 Forbidden Droplet, really strong. Able to just like negate your opponent's monsters, and then depending on what you send, it makes it unstoppable. You can't even stop it. Consistency, we play 3 Allure of Darkness, which is really broken. Draw 2. And then 3 Pot of Greed. I hate this card. I'm cutting this card. I banished this card, the Fusion Duplication, my Thrust target. So I drew the Thrust, and I banished my Fusion Duplication off of Pot of Desires after my Branded Fusion got ashed. I was so angry. I hate this card. I've always hated this card. Whenever I play this card, it's because I copied someone else's deck, and then I play it, and I hate it. It's not worth the +1. Never play this card. This card's trash. I'm cutting it. But I still won X-1, which is nice. All right, so screw Pot of Desires. Next up, extra deck. We got our 2 Albion. That's standard. The 1 Lubellion. I kind of want to play 2 of this because I'm just bad with the deck. But if you manage your resources properly, this just gives you an infinite engine. 2 Mirror Jade. You got to play 2. Then I opted to play the 1 Titaniclad. This can get your Quem out of your deck, or summon a Fallen of Albaz. It's just utility, and it's not a bad fusion target to get over really big cards, because this attack becomes the attack of the monster. Wait, gains attack equal to the combined original levels of the monsters used for his fusion summon times 100. So basically the Fallen of Albaz plus, I guess, an 8. So that's 12, so 1,200. So you can get this up to 37, which is nice. Next up, Rindrbrum. I like to dump this off of Mirror Jade in order to summon the Fallen of Albaz as an extra layer of disruption, which is really cool. The untargetable Albion Sanctifier Dragon. People like to use this for the Gimmick Puppet lock, but I don't own that card. Next up, Grand Guganol. Really awesome. This can either summon your Quem, or it can summon either one of your Despia targets. Despia Quiritus, which can make your opponent's attack 0, and then it can special summon once it's outed. And then Priscinion, which can summon from your opponent's graveyard, which is crazy. Your Baron is now my Baron. I didn't get to do that during tournament, but I did get to summon something. I think it was like a Striker Dragon, which was really funny. Next up, you gotta play Guardian Chimera. This card's crazy, and you play it with the Polymerization, so you can be untargetable. Really awesome, especially with Branded Lost. Your opponent can't even respond. Like, before, they blink, and their board is gone, and they can do nothing about it. Next up, the Magnum the Reliever. So this is the card I was talking about that can banish any fusion spell. So Fusion Duplication counts. Banish it, and then pop a card your opponent controls. And then you can also put one on the bottom of your deck to draw a free card. This card's insane, dude. Next up, the Predaplanet Dracostapelia. Sometimes you just want to fuse a dark monster and a fusion monster to make your Dracostapelia and have a negate, which is really awesome. And then probably the MVP, Dragoon. Like, this card's so amazing. Look at this guy. Dang. Shout out to Emmanuel for getting me this. All right. Next up, finally, is the side deck. So this is also subject to change. I did like the 3 Phantasme. I just wish that I had drawn it in order to use it. I did supplement this with a higher Bestial count. So a Mag, Druis, a second Sorinir, and a Baldrake. I believe I used the Baldrake in tournament to tribute and out one of my opponent's ritual monsters against the Voiceless Voice matchup, which is really cool. I think what I'm going to do is cut the Desires and then put some of these in the main deck, and then maybe side to like a Shadal engine. Spoilers, there's no Shadal engine except for this one card, Shadal Dragon. So when this goes to the graveyard by a card effect, you can destroy a spell and trap. Really broken. So yeah, I mean, like, this literally makes Branded Fusion a Mystical Space Typhoon. You just destroy one of your opponent's back row. And you can chain block it too, which is crazy. Next up, we'd like to play the game. So 3 Dark Ruler no more to turn off our opponent's negations. 3 Cosmic Cyclone because we hate floodgates and back row decks. And then finally, the 1 Branded Banishment. This is a recommendation from Pack Online. Basically, it's really good in the mirror, and you can just like search it and set it, and then you basically eat your opponent's board alive, and then you make one of your monsters. So it really puts them far behind, and it puts you a little bit further ahead. So that's the deck profile. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys check out the deck showcase in all of the duels that I had on the channel, and then subscribe for more videos. See ya.